Rod Ray said morning Mercury was setting the pace. That story's true, I'm here to say, because I was driving that Model A. Woo!
Oh, we only got 20 seconds. We better cut that short. Welcome back, everybody. Motorslingers right here on
the Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And that means that we are here with Leon the Motorman, George the Airplane Man, me, and Jimmy. Give us a call. What's the number, Leon?
God, the number's real easy. Number 866-870-5752. Again, that's 866-870-5752. And we're here having a good time.
Absolutely.
Come and join us, folks.
Really quick, one of the gals from the Orange Shop is a big fan of yours, and she had to have a big surgery. So do me a favor and wish her well. Her name is Annie.
Annie? Annie, God bless you. Get well real soon. I need you.
There you go. Because he's going to come down and take me to lunch one of these days, and you finally get to meet him. She called into your old show before.
Really?
She called into our show when you were on one time. So.
She single lady?
No, her husband works for us, too.
Two of the best, the best pair that
I'm trying.
Making lunch, not dinner.
Did you hear that, John? I stood up for you. Okay, let's get to Lynn out in Cyprus. Lynn, what can we do for you?
Hey, everybody. Good to hear, Leon. We love you over here, and we miss you on the radio, and I'm so happy to hear you tonight.
Thank you, Lynn. I miss you as well, and all my listeners.
Oh, man, I learned so much from your show, and now I'm like, darn it. I have a really old Honda Civic, and I can't call Leon. Anyway, so I have a question about that. But also, I wanted to tell you guys, how much we love the Beach Boys. And with Brian Wilson's passing, Saturday they had a paddle out at the north side of the Huntington Beach Pier.
Yeah, I've met him before, too.
Did you guys know about that?
Actually, a couple of friends of mine were there. So, I did hear about it late. I didn't get to go, but I did hear about it.
Oh, amazing. Anyway, so, Leon, I have a 1999 Honda Civic, and it runs great, except the coolant always, goes from the radiator to the little, that little overflow.
Yeah, recovery bottle. It's called a coolant recovery bottle.
Yeah, and I want to know why, because every day when I go, okay, I got to open the hood, and I want to check the radiator, and then it dumps it into that recovery bottle, and I'm like, and then I take a little bit from there and I dump it back in the radiator. So am I doing right, and what's going on with it?
Well, the purpose of that is to keep your engine clean inside. The coolant recovery bottle stops all the rust, all the corrosion from being in your engine. As the water in the radiator heats up, it expands and goes into that coolant bottle. Then when it cools down, it sucks it back into the radiator system. So therefore, since there's no air in your radiator, there's no rust. Years ago, before they did that, you'd get rust and clean up and ruin your radiator. But now if you have a good coolant bottle, now what's the question you were going,
well, I do every day. I notice, I always look at the radiator, and I notice that it has put I use that coolant, that green stuff,
right,
and it fills it up in the recovery bottle. So I thought, I better dump a little bit back in the radiator so my car doesn't overheat. So, it doesn't take it back in, I guess. And it's been pretty hot, and I notice it's, taking out.
Well, have you ever
every day.
Are you able to take the radiator cap off of the radiator?
Yes. Yes, in the morning when I go to drive, I'll just take the radiator cap off. And
Is it full? Is it full?
No, it's always low, and then the recovery bottle has the coolant in it, and it's usually kind of low, and I don't want it to overheat. So,
well, you may have a leak somewhere that's sucking in the air, and it's not going back and forth. There's some air in your cooling system. Do you have any heater hoses been replaced or anything of this nature?
No,
radiator hoses?
Not recently, but what about that exhaust manifold thing? So,
Well, if you're losing coolant's one thing, but you're not losing it. You just say the coolant bottle
back and
stays
forth.
full, but fill
Yeah.
up the radiator all the way. The radiator
Okay.
should be full all the way. No space in there whatsoever.
oh, okay. Okay.
And then it goes back and forth to the coolant bottle, and it stays full all the time.
Because in the morning time when I go to drive it, it's low. The radiator's low, and I'm afraid it's.
Then you may have a
gonna
bad
take-
radiator cap. Let me mention that. If you got
I
a
put a new
radiator
one
cap,
on.
if you got
I put about 6 months ago. I put a new radiator cap on.
you got to make sure it's the right one for a coolant recovery bottle.
Oh,
Because if it just leaks air in it, then it doesn't bring it back and forth. I don't think you got the correct radiator cap on.
on the radiator. Or
Yes,
On
that's
on the
got to
bottle,
be completely sealed. It's a
Yeah,
special
yeah.
cap. It's a different cap than on a regular older car.
Oh, okay. Because I think it's one of those regular ones, like on the
Get
other
a cap.
cars.
Get a cap that's made for that particular vehicle. Period.
Okay. Okay.
And keep the radiator, fill the radiator all the way up to the top, and it should always stay full. You shouldn't even have to take the radiator cap off.
Okay.
You'll see that coolant bottle raised and lower all the time. It's a good
Okay.
thing.
Well,
It's one of the best things they did to a car, to an engine.
I will do that.
All right.
And thank you
Yeah.
so much for the call.
Oh, and I got to ask you guys: do you always kick Mark out when Leon comes, Jeff?
Well,
I always like, where's Mark?
well,
I think maybe there's not
There's
enough
only so
room for
many
y'all
chairs in
there.
here.
yeah, there's only so many. There's only 4 mics in this room, and Mark actually had a gig tonight, so he
gigging.
missed last week to a gig, and he was at a gig tonight, so that's one of the reasons he was not here tonight.
I'm missing him too, and I'm telling you, every time Leon comes, I don't hear Mark, and I think there wasn't enough room for all you.
Well, he wanted my chair, and I'm not going to give it up to him. He says, get out of that chair.
Lynn, thanks for the call.
Thank you guys, and good talking with you, and thanks, Leon, for all your
Thank
help.
you. Love you, Lynn.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, we do hear that. Where is Mark? Mark had a gig tonight, so he's off doing that. But there's only 4 microphones in this
4
room.
chairs.
4 mics, 4
Yeah,
chairs, and we're running, and we're sharing the camera too, folks.
Yeah, so there's only 3 cameras. So but anyway, my 32 Ford. Now, hot rodders don't call that a what did you call the
Coolant recovery bottle?
yeah, hot rodders call it a puke can.
I never heard of that.
Oh, well, that's all I've ever known it as. Now, my 32 it's got a chopped radiator, and it's got a little small block Chevy in it, but I've got a real nice coolant recovery can.
There we go.
That sounds so much more polite.
Is it the long cylinder
Yeah,
type?
it is. And oddly enough, it tends to overheat. And last time I took it out, I brought it out and I opened up the radiator, and it was to the top. I said, okay, cool. And then I opened up the
Reservoir.
Coolant recovery.
Thank you. Yeah, I opened up that, and it was bone dry, and I thought, So I put a little bit of water in there just 'cause, and it ran great. I had no issues with overheating, and and I was driving and stop and go, and went around town, and
But that coolant bottle will go up and down. Especially when it's cool, it'll be low. When it's hot, it goes up as the water expands.
yeah, okay. So, well, go figure. But when I first got that car, it was a fenderless highboy. It's a real 32. It's not a fiberglass car or aftermarket. It's a real 32. It had a 283 out of a 57 Corvette in it, and it literally had at the top of the radiator, it had a little rubber hose that came down and it went into an old beer can with, remember the church key openers, the little triangles. It had little openers on each side, and the little picture of the guy on the can looked like Curly from the Three Stooges. I still have the can, and it's all rotted out on the
In
inside.
those days, what happened is that overflow tube was that's all it had in years past. The coolant recovery bottle didn't come out till late 70s.
Right.
And so that he put that can on there so it wouldn't mess up his garage or something as the water expands. Because in the older days, when they didn't have that, you always had to keep the radiator 1 inch lower than the cap. If you fill it all the way up, it's going to go in that can.
There you go.
It has to be. That was an old saying because everybody filled it up. And they wonder why it leaked in my garage because it expands. It pushed it out.
There you
it
go.
had to be 1 to 2 inches lower than the radiator cap.
Compensate. There we go.
Well, there you go. And
Live and learn.
the story of a puke can. You're listening to Motor Slingers right here on.
The Gunslinger Syndicated Radio Network.
And we'll be back with our second
Power.
packed hour with more phone calls for Leon, George, me, and Jimmy. We'll be back right after this.